welcome. Thank you for stopping by. This message is going to be a collective message and it's forever who can relate, all right, or connect with the message that I'm going to share today. And honestly, I don't even know what the message is yet, but the words that came to my mind is meeting you where you are right now. So it seems your loved ones on the other side, they want to have a sit down with you and just meet you where you are right now. So they just want to have a little conversation. I don't know what about, okay, but this is what they have called me to do. So let's start with, why do they want to meet you today? I just drew these cards out to begin with, but I haven't translated them or interpreted if I could say it, interpreted them yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Now you have the Five of Cups, the Page of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Pentacles also in reverse to begin the reading. I feel like your loved ones, okay, and I could be wrong, but just from first impression, the Three of Pentacles for me usually represent your loved ones, your spirit team, okay, in the Three of Pentacles. And this is you in the Five of Cups. You have your back turned towards your spirit team. And you could be right now someone who is unable to let go of the past or what has happened. And what comes with that could be regret, resentment, shame, guilt, remorse. There could be depression, sadness, okay, apathy, a loss of motivation, loss of focus for your life, for the present moment. So you could be not in the present moment. You could be too focused or living in the past. And you see that your back is turned towards your spirit team. And you have one in particular. So you have three here. You could take this literally, like you have three angels or three loved ones that are on the other side. They're over here trying to work and make things happen. And you have one here, a fourth one, who is watching you, looking over you, and they're noticing that you're having a difficult time right now, moving forward in your life in a positive direction for yourself. And so they're unable to get anything done. They're unable to come up with a plan of action because you're unwilling to participate. So I feel like this is a call for you to participate. If we look down here, you have the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Two of Cups, the Temperance, and the Star. So again, you have an angel. Maybe that is to reiterate that this is your spirit team. Here, I feel like this is still you. You may be very overwhelmed. You have exhausted your energy because there's something that you're refusing to let go of, whether you're doing this consciously or subconsciously, okay? Maybe whether this is intentional or not intentional, you may be refusing to let go of this past, and maybe you've been getting hints either from people in your life or from the universe. Maybe you've been seeing signs for you to let go of the past. Maybe there's some things that have forced you to move on. So maybe you've been forcibly detached from certain relationships or certain jobs, certain environments, situations, and maybe you weren't ready to detach, but they forced you anyway. Like an example would be you were let go from your job, but it was meant to happen because it was meant for you to look for a different type of job that was more in alignment with who you are, something to make you more happy or more financially stable, something like that, okay? It looks like you're there. It's almost like they have to your spirit team almost has to force you to move forward with yourself. They're saying here that they're here for you, and the Two of Cups, they're here for you, and the Temperance. The Temperance is all about a beautiful partnership, a beautiful mixing of two different energies that when you put them together, they make magic. They make things happen. It's harmonious. It's in sync. It's well balanced. And here in the partnership, again, well-balanced energies coming together and making things happen. And they're saying you're being very resistant to working with this spirit team, and they're here for you, is what I hear. It's like they're here for you. And just by you, if you're still watching this video, I feel like a part of you knows that they're here for you, and probably why you're willing to listen right now. Let's keep going. Again, I don't know what they want to tell you. I don't even know what to call this video when I'm done with the title it, but we'll see. Yeah, they're here for you. And the star too, I didn't say it, but that's just echoing that everything that they're doing behind the scenes is it's working as it should. So they're doing everything that they're supposed to. They're just waiting on you, okay? Everything is working as it's supposed to behind the scenes, okay? Let's do 3 more to figure it out. What else, loved ones? Okay, you have the Ten of Swords in reverse. You have the Empress in reverse and the Page of Swords. So they have some information to share with you today, and it's going to be about you being able to heal this wound that is within the Empress. So for some of you, you could be a parent, okay, and there is a wound dealing with your children or with the identity that you have as a parent, okay, or healing the mother or father wound. So healing the wounds that were created when you were young, okay. And for some of y'all, this may just have to do with your career or what you identify as, what your talent, your skill sets, your goals, whatever it is that you choose to do on earth, okay, your calling, your purpose. Maybe you no longer, maybe there was a change in your lifestyle, okay, but let's keep going. What is this information that they want to share? Let me move this up so we have more room. You have the Seven of Cups, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords in reverse. Okay, so they want to tell you, if we could imagine in the Seven of Cups, this is you, and you could be man or woman, but you looked up to heaven or the sky, the universe, the stars, and you said your prayers, okay? This could be now or in the past, right? When you were a child as well. And you said all that you ever wanted, okay? Your hopes, your dreams, everything that you've ever wanted, you said a prayer, okay? Out loud or to yourself. And they want to tell you they heard you. They just weren't able to communicate this with you. For whatever reason, with the King of Wands, for me, when the King of Wands is pulled, this represents a higher power. Okay, so they want to tell you they heard your prayers, okay, your hopes and dreams, and they want to give you or fulfill those hopes and dreams. But there's something that they're unable to do or to carry out, something that they can't speak about, or something that they couldn't put it in writing, so they couldn't make it official. That maybe there was something that there's some just restrictions on what they can do for you, okay? Let's keep going. You have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Temperance. Okay, so here we have your angels again. So for some of y'all, with this King of Swords, just to go back here, one of the restrictions they're telling me is that you weren't ready to move forward, right? Therefore, they're not able to help you with your dreams because you're not verbally expressing you wanting to move forward. So in a way, they're waiting on you. If you look over here in the Six of Pentacles in reverse, you see how it is a person helping out those who are lost, those are helpless, those are the people who are needing help, support, assistance, okay? Financially, physically. And they're saying they can't give you, if you're hoping that the answer today is that they're going to give you money or they're going to give you wealth, you know, they want to tell you they're not a genie in a bottle, okay? That's not what the message is today. And if you're hoping in the Six of Wands that you're going to gain some sort of visible win, some type of, for some of y'all, you're hoping to overcome a certain situation or obstacle in a public way, all right? Where there is a visible loser, where there's someone who's visibly going to be defeated or hurt by your actions. That's not going to happen either, all right? This is not what, in the Temperance, this is not the partnership or the work in the partnership that they're trying to perform or to get out of you today, all right? Then what are they trying to do? I think they're just trying to preface, hey, we hear your dreams. We want to give you those things, but we can't really put it into the material world on earth. We can't write out a contract for you. You know, we can't have you sign on the dotted line because you are hoping for something that isn't what is needed right now, okay? And again, that could be financial wealth, you know, you hitting the lottery, just something about, yes, money is needed and no judgment for me, okay? But they're trying to differentiate or categorize here are things that are superficial. They're not on a deeper emotional or spiritual level, okay, of things to value. So money, career, education, a nice house, a nice car, you know, a nice reputation, fame. Those are nice things to have, but they're trying to separate here in this category. They don't want you to have it, but over here is where they want you to look. So let's keep going what they're talking about. 3 more. Oh, 2. Okay, you have the Magician, the Two of Wands, and the Hermit. They're both in reverse. Okay, so they're wanting to tell you they want to help you, help empower you, and help give you the tools that are necessary for you to progress in a positive direction for yourself and to help better your life. They want to help you out here. So they want to say that. So they don't want you to be discouraged because, you know, they're saying, we're not doing this. So they don't want you to be discouraged because they said that. They're here to help you. They want to give you the tools necessary so that you are happy, you are fulfilled. Okay, but you and the Two of Wands and the Hermit, you're not doing the necessary internal work spiritually, okay? There's something about you needing to self-reflect. There's something that you need to discover about yourself in order for them to say, yes, I will give you the tools necessary. I will give you the blessings, the offers, the opportunities for you to progress, to make positive progress in your life. I don't know. Let's keep going. They could also be saying, I heard too, they're holding off because you're holding off. So again, that same common theme, you're not ready, so they can't do anything if you're not ready. I heard that as well. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Swords. In the Two of Pentacles, it's almost like they want you to weigh the pros and cons, or to figure out what it is that you truly value. So again, they already told you on one category is the superficial, all right, and here is your spiritual, like a deep inner spiritual values, okay? They want you to weigh them both, what your dreams, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, your desires, and figure out what it is that you really want. In the Five of Wands, there's a lot of struggle or internal conflict going on within you. And if you want to have a clear vision of what you want to do next, okay, whatever your goal may be, whatever, if it involves a relationship, a career, education, whatever it is, if you want to have a clear idea of what it is that you want to do and a plan of action, you're going to have to decide, what do you value most here? Like, what takes priority on what you want to work on? Because in the Five of Wands, it looks like you may be very conflicted on what it is that you want. And if you cannot gain that clarity, right, weigh pros and cons, and figure out what value, what goal, you know, what means the most to you. If you can't figure that stuff out, if you stay trapped in the past here, then it's almost like you're gonna betray yourself in the long run. Not your spirit team, not your angels, not your ancestors, not your spirit guides, guardian angels. It's you, ultimately, that you're going to betray yourself in the end, I feel like. Let's keep going. But let me get some, I do want to go back to this King of Swords here on why it is that they want to give you these things, but they can't. So I feel like I need to clarify that first before we continue. All right. So 3 more. Loved ones, please clarify the King of Swords in reverse. 3 cards. You have the World in reverse, the Moon, and the Strength in reverse. Okay, yeah, they're saying they can't. I heard the words, and this could be them being, I don't want to say dramatic, sorry loved ones, no disrespect, but they're saying they can't give you the world if you're too afraid to say yes to gaining the world. I know that may not make sense because some of y'all have these big dreams. Where is it? You have these big dreams, right? And you're waiting for good things to happen in your life, or to gain or obtain something good. So why would you be afraid of getting what you want? But they're telling you now that the reason why, part of the reason why they can't help you, or they haven't been able to help you, is because, and again, I'll just say what they told me, they can't give you the world if you're too afraid to have the world, have everything you want, to have those new beginnings, new offers, new possibilities. And if you're not up to it, in the Strength card in reverse, if you're, you have that low energy, you have the low confidence or low self-esteem, if you're afraid or hesitant at all, then they're not going to show up and give you it in the material world, in real life, pen to paper. They're not going to hand over the money. They're not going to hand over that contract or that business deal or that marriage contract. They can't give you anything if you're too afraid to at all. If they see an ounce of doubt or fear or hesitation, or this, maybe you feel like maybe it's not for me, maybe I don't want it. If you have that wishy-washy or those self-doubts, which, I sympathize with you, but for your loved ones on the other side, they're saying if there's any moment of hesitation, They can't come to you for whatever reason. I may be able to talk to them, but I don't know everything that goes on the other side. I only know what they tell me. Maybe for them to do what they need to do, they have to hear you say yes 100%, like wholeheartedly be accepting of what they have to offer. I don't know. But back down here, yes. So you're only betraying yourself if you don't figure it out. What all these hopes and dreams, weigh them out seriously and figure out what it is that you want. Now, let me ask your loved ones, why would you even need to weigh it out? And again, we already said superficial things here, even though they're very valid. They have value. They are important. And over here would be what they consider you to weigh out as well. Let me see, 3 more. Before I try to add my own words, let's see what, in their words, what do they want to say? If they're weighing out, right, the people watching, all the hopes and dreams, what else should they be weighing or considering? 3 more cards. Okay, so you have the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Sun, and the Lovers. Okay, so they want to say if they took away everything from you, I think they want to explain. If you were represented by the King of Pentacles, and you could be man or woman, right? But the King of Pentacles represents everything in the material world, okay? This represents your career, your values surrounding your financial stability, your financial wealth, okay? Everything that you own or that you could own, everything that you can buy or exchange in the material world. So buying, exchanging, transferring of goods, of money, of your time, your energy, your focus, all the hard work from your own 2 hands. Your loved ones are saying, if you had nothing to exchange, okay, nothing to buy, nothing to transfer, what would still make you happy in the Sun? And in the Lovers, what could still fulfill you on a deeper in a spiritual way? Or what could give you purpose if your title or your identity was stripped away from you? And for some of y'all, in the past, that's already happened, right? You've already lost something in your life that was very meaningful. So you have, in a way, been stripped of something. But your loved ones want to say, what if you've been stripped away from other things in the King of Pentacles? What then could give you purpose? If you never regained your wealth, you never regained fame, you never even gained fame, okay, for most of y'all, you never got it. You're never going to obtain that financial wealth or stability. Maybe you're not even going to get that, the family that can come along, or relationships that can come with money, right? If you never got it, what could fulfill you now? So this is what they meant. So sorry, loved ones. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So what could fulfill you now if your identity was taken? You never will get the money, okay, the fame, the fortune, that house, that car, that job title. You never get the relationships or the adoration, the fans, okay, from what you do in your life. Interesting. So they want you to think about this. What else, loved ones? I move that up. 3 more. You have the Fool in reverse, the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Cups also in reverse. They're telling you you're not going anywhere until you understand why your life isn't moving in a positive direction, or you're not seeing the positive progress that you want to see. So maybe life is good for you right now. Maybe it's okay, but is there something that you want that needs, or something that could use improvement? Or is there something you're like, oh, if I only got this or that, or, you know, you're never going to get what you've been wanting or desiring or dreaming about. It's not going to happen if you don't take a look at your actions and what you choose to plant. So in the Seven of Pentacles, it's a garden, and you know, in gardens you have to put in the right seeds at the right time. You know, there's certain seeds you can't plant because it ain't the right harvest time. I mean, the right time to plant, right? And then when you go to harvest it, you know, you have to make sure you harvest it at the right time. So you can't just be pulling out plants or pulling out vegetables when they're not ready to come out. Does that make sense? So you have to know what seeds you want to plant. You got to know what soil is the right soil. You got to know if it's the right season for that seed. You got to know when it's ready to be reaped or to be pulled out, to be used, to be eaten. You know, a lot of things come into factor here when you're having to plant something. And right now your loved ones are saying you're not doing that. For some of y'all, you're not. Maybe you're throwing seeds out, you know, hoping that it's just going to, you know, plant itself and be okay. Or for some of y'all, maybe you're forcing things to grow where the environment is bad, or it's the wrong time, you know, it's the wrong season for you to plant those seeds. You know, maybe you're forcing things to happen and it's not going to happen because, you know, seeds don't work the way that you want them to work. Okay, I'm done with the I'm sorry. I'm going off on a tangent, but I hope you understand what they're trying to tell you. Nothing, you're not going to go anywhere until you figure out what it is that you want and need. Okay? Let's move on. Let's do 3 more. You have the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Okay. So if we tried to say the garden reference again, sorry. But if we looked at the gardening reference, okay, you could almost look at it as here you have opportunities, possibilities being planted, and then they're ready to be taken, to be used. And again, remember in the Magician card, your loved ones are saying, we will give you the tools necessary for you to utilize when you say that you're ready. So they're saying now that in the Queen of Cups, it's almost like they're offering you the Ace of Cups, which is for you to get inspired again, to feel motivated again, to feel connected to your emotion, your emotional, spiritual side. They're saying here, we will give you this Ace of Swords to plant now, and then will be the time for you to now use it in any way that you see fit. But let me see why that is. I'm going to draw 3 more cards. So why do you say the Ace of Swords in reverse? So let me just get 3 here for this one in reverse. And let me do it this way. And I want to get 3 more for the Ace of Swords upright. If I can get it out. Okay, whoops. So taking a closer look at the Ace of Swords in reverse, they want to tell you right now this message is an Ace of Swords for you to gain more mental clarity or to have a mental breakthrough today, okay? But the mental clarity is not about how to figure out how you can move on from your past and how for you to make a plan of action. Maybe your loved ones feel like you're not ready for that step yet. So they want to just clarify this today is not about how to get you going. All right. Right now, in the Ace of Swords, here is how you can understand. Okay. Here in the Ace of Swords, remember, they wanted you to think about if the King of Pentacles, if your identity or what you value was never going to happen. The gift for you today, or the mental breakthrough that you can have today with the information shared, is for you to figure out if you can no longer be who you want it to be, if you no longer can have that relationship that you wanted, or you can't have that community that you wanted, or you can't have that that just who you are. If you no longer could be who you are, who you wanted to be, who could you be next? So really, your loved ones want you to focus on a life that you've never thought about before, because if you keep wanting what you've been wanting, something that you've been wanting in the past or the recent past, perhaps that's not going to happen. Or maybe you just need to learn what you should value most. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to get on a pulpit and start preaching things. This truly is coming from your loved ones on the other side. And so I don't look at religion. I'm not going to sit here and preach something to y'all. Okay. This is coming from them. They want you to really focus on, if everything was stripped away from you, who then can you be? What then can you value? Okay. That is the clarity you can gain today. Not you having a plan of action. That's not going to happen today. For some of y'all, maybe, if you're a fast learner. And if you can really soak it in and truly understand this message today. But yeah, that having a plan of action and completely moving on, closing the door, gaining that closure from your past, like never looking back, maybe that's not going to happen today. Realistically, right? For many of y'all, realistically, it ain't happening today. But what can happen is you looking at what you value, who you want to be. All right. Anything else, loved ones? This was stuck at the bottom. I don't know if y'all caught that on camera. Probably not. This was sticking at the bottom. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, putting in that work on who you are, what you want, what you need. Okay, let's put this here. Let's do 3 more. What else, loved ones? You have the 4 of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, with the 2 of Swords, they're saying don't avoid making decisions for too long. Don't put it off for too long. Maybe you have been, all right? Given everything you've been going through, that's understandable, right? Whatever has happened in the past. But don't avoid it for too long of figuring out who you want to be and what you want, what you need in your life, what you value, and who you want in your life as well. Don't put it off for too long, all right? Anything else, loved ones? You have the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Magician in reverse, and the 9 of Cups in reverse. It's almost like you won't be able to drink from this cup or give out this cup of love, ambition, passion, creativity, inspiration, a connection, an emotional connection with yourself and a higher power, or within yourself and with other people in relationships. You won't be able to drink from this cup or give it away if you're not able to figure out what cup you want to give. What cup do you want to drink from? Okay, what cup do you want to drink from, and what cup do you want to share with somebody else? So yeah, you can't drink from something that you don't have, is what they're trying to tell you. If that makes sense. Anything else, loved ones? You have the Page of Swords in reverse popping up again. You have the Tower and the Knight of Swords in reverse. They're telling you don't be, and it's easier said than done, but don't be intimidated or afraid by necessary changes, life changes that have to happen. Don't be afraid. Again, they don't want you to have avoidance in the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords is wanting to run away, okay, wanting to run away from this burning tower. And they're trying to tell you, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to avoid the life changes that are going to take place or that need to take place, okay? Let's see, what is this tower? The Ace of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the Knight of Cups also in reverse. Yeah, it's just, again, you going after what could fill you up, okay? This cup, what could you drink from and what could you share with other people? Or with another higher power, what you could be, what could be fulfilling, give you purpose, give you satisfaction, okay? What could give you that passion, creativity, that spark of life, of inspiration again? Don't be afraid of making the necessary changes. Don't be afraid of new life experiences to happen, okay? Anything else, loved ones? You have the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So they're saying, they want to tell you right now, this could be you in the Ten of Cups. You could emotionally or spiritually or mentally be fulfilled without ever having the Ace of Wands, which is you going after what it is that you want in the material world. So for many, this will have to do with your career or a certain goal that you may have that you want to go out and achieve. Your loved ones on the other side are saying you can be happy without ever gaining this achievement here in your goals, a certain goal, career, education, or personal, okay? As long as you have in the Five of Pentacles, you see the crutches could be a wand of some sort in the crutches here. To see fast, positive progress or positive changes in your life, you can have it in the Five of Pentacles, which is represents community around you, friends, family, organizations, your job, co-workers. Just a network of people are out there if you choose to let them in. This includes your spirit team. Now, you can believe whatever you want. I'm never going to force you to believe something that you don't. Again, I'm no preacher, and I ain't trying to convince nobody of nothing. But your loved ones are saying they're here for you if you're willing to let them help guide you if you want. So for some of y'all, just allow them to talk to you and be open to the possibility of change. Be open to the possibility of reaching closure or closing that door of what happened in the past and moving forward to something new, opening up a new door. So be open to that. So being able to be open to that, as well as keeping an ear open to your spirit team for some of y'all. Looking at the Ace of Wands, it's almost like if some of y'all know in therapy, the talking stick or something, where if you're in therapy, in a group therapy, in a circle, in order for you to, everyone has to take turns talking. And so if you have this, they pass a stick around, and if you have the stick, then that means it's your turn to talk. I don't know why, but it feels like because it's in reverse, they're saying you don't have to wait till it's your turn to talk. You can talk to your spirit team whenever you want to. Or for some of y'all, or for many, There's people in your life already who you can talk to. Or you could reach out to people, a network or organization that you can talk to in order for you to feel a little more happier right now, okay, in the present moment. Anything else before I close the reading, loved ones? You have the Chariot, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Queen of Cups. So for some, maybe your loved ones are wanting to tell you, if you've been working hard to gain that financial wealth, financial stability, or to gain that fame or good reputation, or to get that house or that car, whatever it may be in the material world, they're saying you don't have to work that hard to go down the right path. The right path for you is not one that you can discover through your hands, but through your heart. Does that make sense? The right path for you, you'll be able to discover not through what you choose to work on in the material world, but what you choose to work on within yourself, within your heart, within your mind, within your spirit. Okay. I'll leave you with a word of encouragement if your loved ones want to. You have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Four of Swords in reverse. So they just want to acknowledge going on this self-discovery journey could be very intimidating, very scary, right? In the Tower, it could be very overwhelming. If you choose to go on this self-transformation for yourself, with the Four of Swords here, it's almost like you have, a casket. This represents you being able to pass on, metaphorically, figuratively, and be able to rise again when it's in reverse. So you're going to be able to rise again as someone who is healthier, happier, more stable, okay? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And I hope you gained some type of clarity today. If you have, please like the video to let me know, or subscribe to my channel if you haven't, or just keep coming back.